Planting approaches, tariffs, and their effect on local crop markets are on the minds of many farmers.
Aaron Stuvey reports on what those farmers are planning for and what the export market means to those farmers.
Right now, our inputs are still relatively high. Putting this crop in, and crop prices unfortunately are below the cost of production.
Spring planting is only a few weeks away for many farmers, but uncertainty still remains in the market as tariffs against countries like Canada, Mexico, and China have already affected the market of some of Minnesota's largest exports.
Soybeans are Minnesota's #1 export. The U.S. exports just shy of 50% of the soybeans that we produce, so export markets are extremely important.
It's been a tough couple of years for many farmers, between years of drought and last year's flooding. Market instability won't help that, but there's some hope that things could bounce back, which industry leaders say would be crucial in maintaining a business that is so important to so many Minnesotans. That is only a hope, however, as many farmers are being forced to plan for the worst, as the cost to produce crops remains higher than the value of the crops themselves.
The export business is vital, and it has been, and it has to be there so we can maintain a future in agriculture, because truly rural America does depend on that, and that's why it's where it's at today, is because of the exports and the relationships that we've had with a lot of these countries.
I'm Aaron Stuvey.